So now we can come to here. And we want to add stream info. Title is that. Then we want to go to here. Check, check. Hello, 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 hello. We have one of our windows still. Okay, there we go. I think that's it. All right, now we are live everywhere. Excellent. Today, the plan is to go through and complete our useAuth for doing the refresh tokens. So that is adding in a new hook. One thing though. All right, can I see that chat? I can see that chat and I can see that chat. Okay, why has... Oh, because it doesn't need to join the chats, but it is showing YouTube, Twitch, Kick. Okay, all of my things appear to be working. Excellent. So let's go to the code. All right, so yesterday we went further with the require auth and using that with the React router. Okay, let's see. I have some. Is this the right set of notes? Yes, 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 yes. This is what we want. Okay. Minimize that. Okay. So we have a useAuth hook. Right. Excellent. Excellent. So I think what we need from within here is hang on, let's look at some of our other hooks to make sure we're doing what's expected. So do we need to pass any information in for that? We do not. So I think we need an export of a function of is authenticated. We need export function login export a logout, and one for the user. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Okay. So we have is authenticated login, logout. Well, let's see, for logout, that one's going to be easy. That's going to be a local storage access token and refresh token, and then I suppose that could be, we could save some state within this if we actually, that would be why we might want to do that. So we could do a export a function of or let's just use auth. Yeah, use provide auth. Yes, absolutely. Re-indent our lines. Okay. So we've got an is authenticated, a login and a logout. And then within here, we want a oh, well, that we might be able to let's say user and set user uses state, but for that we need to import useState. Okay. Now, if we have that logout, or we have a login, is authenticated. For is authenticated, I think that can actually then be access token equals get the access token, and then we can return the access token not equal to null. Yes. Then I think we can also add in here the refresh an access token. All right. So we're going to get the refresh token. If there is no refresh token, we're going to just return should we log out if there's no refresh token? I think we might already. We can come back and figure that out. I think we're good if we just wait. Hey Rex, how are you? What's new? Have you worked with React much? I can't remember if we've spoken about that before. Okay. Let's see. Our login is going to, let's close that for now. Don't actually know if we need the login here. Might need to draw some pictures. This is starting to get a little wonky in my head. Let's see. Let's simplify first. So console log, this is refresh access token. Is authenticated, that is fine. Log out, it's also console log, this is log out. Console log, this is login. Let's call this local storage set item. Oh, wait a minute. We never are setting our access token. We're only setting our refresh token. We're already consoling or logging. Let's do a console log is authenticated. We're exporting is authenticated, login, logout, and user. That may actually change, but from here, let's get access token, uses the state. To get the state, we need to, we already have use state. Hang on though, hang on. I'm confusing myself. Our auth provider is maintaining that. How we connect our auth, useAuth and auth provider is where I am unclear. So auth context just sets up that context. The auth provider here let's see. The auth provider sets that up. The auth provider could use the... Yes, exactly. So it's going to use the provide auth from useAuth. But our require auth. No, wait a minute. All right, hang on. I definitely need to draw a picture. I'm getting super confused. All right, let's bring this over here. Or actually need to, oh, here's our Excalibur. All right. Okay, we have our index, HTML. That includes the app. App is, well, in the index, we have the auth provider. Auth provider is wrapped around the app. Okay. Then within app, we call in our header, and then our router. And the router has a root of, say, slash, and then we have a require auth around our slash customers. So that's whatever protected root. So we have a protected root here. All right, and then within the so the require auth is the only place. Well, let's also do let's actually call this login. So login. Let's just be super explicit here. So we've got a regular, okay. All right, we've got slash root login. All right, and then when we go into login, our component of login it has all right, so our login process has a we get the access, refresh. All right, we just get the tokens from the auth context. Auth provider. Our auth context exists inside of our auth provider. So then we get it from we get the token from auth context. We display form if no access token. Okay. On form submit, we use login dot login hook inside of that. Let's actually, if we're gonna get that, let's. This should be some more boxes and arrows. Form. All right, so here we've got all right, I've got a login form. Inside of the login form, or from the login form, we then use login. Use login. That's a hook. Or wait a minute. No. That's not. Is that right? Yeah, use login as a hook. Oh, wait. Where am I getting that? That is actually from. Where's our login form? There we go. The login form is getting use login, which is a hook from, currently it's from use fetch from API. All right. Actually, let's do so submit. Does the use login hook, and then that calls the login function. Okay. The login function calls the API service. Calls the API service, which is a service, obviously. From within that, it uses actual login service. And login service API. Okay. Also, all right. Now, then login service, when it receives its response, it sends that response back. That response is then from within the use login. Service here, we set tokens. Yes. Good, good, good. We set the tokens. All right. Now what we are after the auth context should not just set the tokens, but we also want that it should set a user, just so that we have access to that user. Okay. Now our issue, so this flow is absolutely fine. No problems here. So then if we come into require auth, what we want is check tokens, check user. done that yet. Tokens and user. All right, now if we want to check the tokens and user from our auth provider, no, not from our auth provider. It's that we want our require auth Where's our require auth? Our require auth should import useAuth. And so this would be useAuth is authenticated, and that's going to be a function. Okay, so if we just start with just that, so I think what we need here is a const. Hang on. Let's go back here. We just need to make sure. So, all right, let's not do this yet. We're just going to do the is authenticated. Hey there, eternal neat. I am a backend engineer and a DevOps engineer. This is my first foray into React, so that's why I seem to be so confused in what's happening. Front end is my least skill set, or my most lacking skill set in the stack. Niraj, hey, how are you? Long time no see. Was busy with great. You being a Niraj, you being a React developer, it's good to see that my code is starting to look somewhat like yours. Oh, build system engineer, nice. Eternal neat. That's what's the most interesting thing that you do there? Hey, remark online, nice. Hey there. Awesome to see a bunch of people coming in and watching me stumble around in React. Yeah, Laravel. I did use Laravel in, I want to say 2012. Oh yeah, the code testing. Yeah, I gotcha. Correctness testing, code proofs. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, but I've back to the Laravel. I've been off PHP since moving to Node back in 2014, I think. Work for a financial firm, so it's important. My last position before the one I'm currently in, we worked in financial services as a software consultancy. Interesting, but rough. Interested in getting married so we could pay less taxes. Yeah, I'm already married. Can you tell me what a build engineer is and what skills are required? Let's actually quickly, let's just look at a build system engineer job description. That's a systems engineer. I think that's a little bit different. Build engineer, also known as a release engineer. I don't think that's exactly the same thing. Basically, so Eternal Neat saying that basically uses OCaml to make test cases and prove the code is correct. Okay. So every company has different exact specifications for what a job description is. So you may hear the same job title in one company and the requirements are slightly different or even quite a bit different, at least in my experience so far. So this is automation testing, I guess would be the best way for what it seems that Eternal Neat on Twitch is saying. Okay. Yeah, it says that's exactly it. Okay, cool. Yeah, every software I've ever worked on should have had more automated testing. And he says, I'm sorry, he or she or other has said that it's a financial service, a financial firm. So obviously, the more testing you have, the better. Because between healthcare and finance, I think often people are even more angry about their money than about their health. And I have experience in both of those fields or industries. That'd be the better way to say it. Okay, we were going to test the is authenticated, the login and the logout, and user maybe. Maybe. So we want, let's just start with is authenticated. So we'll save that. Our useAuth has an is authenticated. It is, we actually shouldn't be fetching it from the local storage, I don't think. I think we want to get that from the auth context. And that should, yeah, that's not going to be there anyway. Let's just return false for now. So our we want to fetch use provider auth from useAuth. What's complaining? Let's just make this simple so we don't get confused. So we just have is authenticated coming out. So we're going to use provider auth. Oh. Is authenticated from useAuth. And then this is just is authenticated. Okay. Yes. So now if we come back to our here. Okay. We have that's not right. Why is that? All right, hang on. What have I done incorrectly? Component require auth export useAuth was not found. So in our useAuth, we are returning that. We are exporting use provide auth. Use provide auth. So that component require auth JS. Use provide auth. Must be the wrong location. Let's see. useAuth is a hook at the moment. So in what's the warning? Oh, that we have a set user. Okay. All right. So we have home. We have login. Customers should redirect us to login. It did. Okay. So that is working exactly as we think it is. So if we come back to useAuth and we say return true, this should allow us to get to the customer's root, but it should act ridiculous because there is no access token. So when it tries to fetch it, it should throw an error. Yes. Okay. That's exactly what I expected to see. Okay. So now do we have import can we get auth context in a hook? That is something I'm not positive about. We want to get the access token and the refresh token and the user from the auth context. Yes. So then this is going to be, oh, yeah, if, or actually we can just return access token is not equal to null. So the access token should be null when we haven't logged in. Why is there a problem? Use context is not defined. So you cannot use context in a hook. But where we used the hook was when we implemented it here. So probably we need to, would you pass the context? We could, we just, at the moment we just need the access token, and yet that doesn't feel right. That feels silly to have to fetch that from the context and pass it, but maybe that makes sense. Oh, it just needed to be imported from React. Thanks, Dan. Let's try that then. Oh, use context from React. I see. Context. Use context. And we don't, at the moment, we don't need use state. So there. And now, what do we have? Cannot find module content. Okay, that might be trying to fetch it from the wrong place. / context, auth context. Okay, thank you, Dan. That's exactly what the problem was. Okay, so now if we actually log in, we should be setting our context for the access token. Actually, let's go to our application, local storage, Let's delete that. So now we don't have an access token in our context state. We don't have a refresh token in our local storage. But if we log in, we have our access token and our refresh token. So if we go to customers, we should actually fetch the customers. Crap. Something's not quite right. What did we do incorrectly? Are we returning? Let's see. So let's clear that. Is authenticated is checking if there is an access token. We're getting access token from auth context. When we do login, we are executing login from our use fetch from API. The login service does a setting of those, which we saw the tokens appear on the screen after we logged in. So this executed. So we had an access token that we got from use context. All right, let's just follow the flow here. So we fetched those login service. So it fetched our tokens. Now, if we then go home and then go back to login, I would expect to see our token appear. But it didn't, because we're losing is the hook actually, even though the hook is included from, wait, where is our require? Our require auth is a child underneath our app, and our app has front end source indexation. Nope, that's the wrong one. Index, there. Oh, that. Good grief. Where is our index? Index.js. So we have our auth provider wrapped around our app. Our app has require auth inside of that root. Our require auth is getting the use provider auth, or is authenticated from the use provider auth, and not authenticated there. Here we are returning whether the access token, which we got from the context. Let's see if we can't, if we, it redirects before, well, actually it shouldn't redirect on the login page. Let's log the access token and see what we have here. So let's refresh the page. All right, we go to login. Okay, We've logged in. Now if we go to just log in again, I think it's got something to do with the hook and the context being this context, the auth context inside of the hook isn't the same as the one part of the auth provider. Let's ask old JWT. In React, can a hook access auth context that is context that is from the auth provider that is wrapped around app. Okay, so okay, so if we come back to given there doesn't login returns an access token, sets an access token, sets an access token, but seems to be lost when using a route even back to the login. Component. I think I got that. GPT Copilot. Come on. Copy that. Let's try again. What? Why do you keep having trouble? All right. Let's try from full GPT. Great. Given the following hook, actually, that doesn't have anything to do with the hook. That doesn't have anything at all to do with the hook. because our login is actually just getting the access token from the auth context. And so from here we perform login from useLogin. useLogin is getting set access token and set refresh token from the useAuth context. So the auth context already contains set refresh, because when the state of access token changes to being set, we display it. Why is access token being losing its value? Console log access token. I should probably actually add a logger service or something. Let's just get rid of these for now. Who's complaining about it? Customer use context is defined. Okay, that's fine because we are getting rid of that. Okay, so let's come back to here. Refresh the screen. So access token was null. Login. What? Good grief, what has happened now? Oh, I misspelled my password. Okay. Access token is set. Access token is set. If I click to go here, wait, that actually navigated. It didn't. That's what's happened. I've navigated and not. So it has refreshed the actual page. I actually don't want the links to go as links. I want them to replace the... I don't actually know the terms. React router push URL to history or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Let's see. React router. Which router are we using? We're using the React router DOM6. Link as how do I even search for this? I want to search as a SPA. I mean, I want it to man, my front end skills suck. Link shouldn't navigate it link to of on SVA. No, that's still not quite right. Link to not lose state. Let's see. When accessing the routes after a login, sets the access token state the page navigates to the new location and loses all state. But we don't want to store our access token in local storage. That's a bad idea. I thought the point of the way these routers worked was that is there any other option to avoid losing state, to avoid storing the sensitive information in local storage? Why in the hell can you not answer two frickin' questions? Come on! Fuck you. Fuck tool. Alright. It's bad. It's very bad. You're very, very bad. Alright. Let's try. Okay. In a React application, is there a way to not lose state when using a router link that doesn't involve storing sensitive information in local storage? I thought Redux wasn't important anymore. I thought it had been replaced by internal state stored by React. I thought Redux was no longer needed and was baked into React. React these days. Do we need Redux or MobX? What's the difference in the... over the last 5 years, showing adoption rates between MobX and Redux. GitHub. MobX has around 24,000 stars. Redux averages 5 million downloads a week. MobX averages 655,000. So Redux is still... Let's see. Redux in 2024. Pardon? React server components, React meta frameworks, state management. Okay, here's... React state management isn't a new topic yet, as new solutions, signals, Zustand, and Recoil approach things differently to existing solutions. Redux and React hooks. State management tools continue to be a point of debate amongst React developers. Redux is a state container for JavaScript apps, with React Redux providing official React bindings. It's still one of the strongest state management tools, or something that despite working might not always be needed. Once almost a prerequisite for React development, there seems to be a growing consensus that Redux is actually best safe for large, complex applications. As for React hooks, useState and React context are common solutions. The issue is that within hooks, there are rules to be learned about how and when they can be used within components that can make them difficult to get to grips with and even harder to perfect. Because of their complexity, there is an argument that both Redux and React hooks can result in bloated code and unnecessary rendering across the application. Okay. Yeah, Okay. And the rules of hooks, are they... Hooks can only be called within the insight, yes. Yeah, came across that one yesterday, I think, or maybe it was this morning. I can't remember. Functions whose names start with use are called hooks. Okay. Yeah, I'll come back to that. You're not still here, Niraj, are you? I know you have some significant experience with React. I was wondering how you dealt with state, especially since you said you were only storing the access token within browser memory. So I'm wondering if you used Redux or something else. React maintain state between pages. It's just gonna say Redux, isn't it? Yeah, we don't want to use, you could also use local storage. Session storage versus local storage. So maybe that's it, is just using session storage. So session should only persist until you close the tab or maybe even refresh the page. And local is stored in that browser across tabs, I think, for that same URL or that same domain. Yeah, I think session-based and working per window or tab. Less older browser support. It's not session-based. Needs to be deleted via JS or manually. Client-side reading only. Cookie is server and client-side. But if set via JavaScript is still the same thing. So I'm guessing session storage for our access token is going to be the most flexible without using Redux. But how does Redux store state across pages? Call this, so it stores it in the store. Provides the provider. No, I mean, yeah, okay, that's fine. But okay, well, what does a very simple React application that uses Redux look like? Okay, so you install it. We have actions, a reducer, store. Oh, in window. Wait, window doesn't go across links, does it? Let's see, do we have access to window directly? I mean, it is JavaScript. So if we were to come to our just here when we're setting those, if we do a window dot my access token equals that. Okay. So we set our access token in the window. Some old school stuff, I think. I remember doing all sorts of super dumb things in the long ago with window. Not professionally, but just for toy applications. So here, we refresh, so we log in. All right, now we've come here. Window dot my access token, it exists there. So now if we come back to login, no. So there's no difference. So how does that work with React? Redux dev tool extensions. Is that something built into the browser? I don't think so. I don't know what that is. Dispatch yes, use dispatch, which is part of Redux, yes. I somewhat understand that. All right, so tell me what this is. What is that? Redux dev tools extension is a global variable that becomes available in your browser's window object when you have the Redux. Okay, so this is just for development then? So where's the store stored? Where is the store stored? Yeah. Why is this information, or this data, not lost when navigating to additional routes, but React context is? This is my app, and I am passing, using auth context from this is my root object. I am using auth context from auth provider throughout when clicking a link to a route, I lose context data. Why? Accidentally creating multiple instances. No, I don't think so. Is imported by different relative paths. If auth context is imported by different relative paths, it is going to be from different relative paths, but the other... Oh no, that's the context. If auth context is imported. Import so login has a different auth context from hooks, and yeah, for sure. I'm just looking for an idea of where to understand what's happening. Being not a front-end engineer and trying to understand React, it's definitely helped figure out a lot of what I don't understand, but I'm still not clear on why this state is being lost between navigation using the router and how it differs from Redux. But thanks for your comment, Renor. Yeah, never trust ChatGPT fully. Usually it's a lot like Wikipedia. Wikipedia is great to get you pointed in the right direction, and if you dig into the footnotes, then you're going to learn a lot, but you can't just blindly trust it, for sure. Good call out. Let's see. I think maybe session storage for our access token is probably going to be the best solution. But I'd like to use it, or use React the way that is the industry standard. But it seems like Redux is becoming less and less important, and I don't know if it makes sense to go down that path or not. Let's see. Maintain state, and I'm not using Redux at the moment. I am considering using it, but I thought if using a auth context with an auth provider as part of also using, where is our DOM router, React router DOM, that if all state was stored within the auth provider's auth context, that should handle the state across links accessed via the router, but it's not doing that for us at the moment. Maintain state in React without Redux. Let's say auth state. React without Redux in auth context. Use a reducer hook. Right, so let me show you. So it's supposed to happen when switching to the next route, data persists only. Yes, okay, so if we go over to here, so refresh the page, and just to be clear again, these are routes from our React Router DOM. Our auth provider provides the auth context where we are using the state to store our access token and refresh token. So then when we log in, we're fetching our tokens. Then when we go to even just back to the same login route, it loses our access token. Now, possibly, I misunderstand how state exists, but this is all within the auth provider, and the only use of auth provider is in the wrapping element around app. But then when we get context in, say, in our login, so it's refreshing the page. Is that because I've done something incorrect with the routes? Thanks, Niraj. And require auth. That's not the one. Where's our login page? Let's go look at our login page just to see. So our login page, we're using auth context. Yeah, Renor, I thought about storing it in local storage, but so we're already going to store the refresh token in local storage. The idea is to try to do as much security as we can. If the access token is stored in local storage, then it does leave us susceptible to cross-site scripting. Now, I suppose that's still the same case with a refresh token, but if your refresh token can't actually be used for access, then we might be able to add in some additional security. But at the moment, I'm just trying to figure out, well, mostly I'm just trying to figure out how React works. What on earth could this... Why would the page refresh? Maybe that's what I need to look into. Is that the React Router DOM routes are refreshing the page. Where's the context of the access token and the refresh token? So we have the auth provider that's wrapped around the app. The auth provider is importing auth context and adding in the auth context provider wrapped around the children. In the app, I am not using an anchor. I should be using an anchor, shouldn't I? So it's... Is that right? So I remember this from a long time ago, or is it slash and then something like that? Let's see, what did this tell us? Okay, so maybe... So this is... It's using element, and it should be using link. Currently using the following. Why can you not do something twice? Ugh. Seriously. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, wait. So it was talking about using in your link. So what's the difference between link and route? Okay, let's see here. React router DOM link versus route. The routes are okay, but when you are clicking login on your page, the link should be like link to login. Oh, so it's not the... I'm an idiot. Idiot! Come on, dude. So it's not that. It's in my header. Oh! Oh, come on. So import link, yes, and then in here we want how does that work? Is it link that, what does that look like? Link, so instead of the A, it's link to, and then a closing link. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Especially you, Narash. Oh, jeez Louise. Okay. Now if we, where's our application? Oh. Uh-oh. Broke it good. What did we break? Oh, it's the... Where did I... What? Base name... Did I paste something that I shouldn't have? Where did that happen? What is that? What did I put in there? Looks so similar to what I'd done earlier. What did I do? Yeah, no, Webpack. Or is it something else that I'm missing? Ugh. Get diff. That all looks good. That looks good. That looks fine. All right, let's actually read the error message. What is happening? Cannot destructure property base name. Oh, the hashes. Thank you. Thank you, Renor. Oh, still not quite right. Let's see here. Did I see something about error occurred in the link? All right, come back to our header. We've imported link 2. Okay, that's another one fixed. Now what? Error occurred in link again. Link. So it should be 2. I mean, it should be href and not 2. Link is active pinning. React router DOM link. React router DOM link. Come on now. Link example. Link is 2. Okay, yeah. Okay. Thanks. So, all right. So it is 2. All right, come back here. So our route is now correct. In our header, we're importing link. Wait, is that correct? Import link. Yes, that is correct. Let's just restart the server just because. Nope, that's not it. I want to go to here. Let's close some stuff. At LIUL div header div app auth provider. Consider adding an error boundary to your tree. Li link. Those are all slashes. What have I done differently? What is this? React Webpack import module use context. Okay, maybe our use context got fouled up somewhere. So there's our Okay, our login is using use context. Our use fetch from API is using use context. And our use auth is using use context. Hey there, Doc Drewski. Doc Drewski. I am a backend and DevOps engineer, and I am trying to mess around with React. I've created an API based on Cloudflare's workers using the framework Hono, and that is using the Cloudflare's backend D1, which is an SQL-like database, all free tier stuff. And now we are attempting to add a front end from React. But you made a licensing system using it? Nice. I am not a front end engineer. I have some experience writing front end like a back end engineer. So I've made things work, but I'm not good at this area of the field. What is it you do yourself? Are you a front end engineer? I really don't understand what's happening. Okay. Let's just take those out and see if it's okay. It's definitely something to do with our links. What the heck? Okay. I must be doing something incorrect with links, right? So I know that it's nowhere else in the application. Link example. I only need a key and sorry. Your full stack, mostly work in the Minecraft community. Cool. Mostly underpaid gigs that you enjoy. Well, at least you enjoy it. I myself am still thrilled that somehow I've convinced people to pay me to do the thing I'd be doing anyway. Well, I am doing anyway. It's, Saturday, and here I am showing people how bad I am at front end as I stumble through the dark. But hopefully it's at least interesting, or hopefully somebody else avoids the mistakes I make. But why is our link not working? So we imported link from React Router DOM. Yes. A link is to and then a /link. To/link. All right, let's get rid of these two. Okay. So link to wait. Link to. In the process of learning Angular, yeah, and it's a pain. I understand that. I dealt with Angular in I think it was version 1, but it might have even been before version 1, and found it interesting, and then did some stuff with Vue.js, which I found to take some of the good concepts that I saw from Angular 1 and some of the good concepts from React and seem to mush them together in a pretty solid way. But the current version of React seems a lot more like what seems intuitive. The initial version I saw of React just broke my brain. But then again, here I am with a broken application because I can't make a frickin' link work. Definitely a me problem, not a React problem, though. I'm wondering if the 2 is not a relative value resolves relative paths to the parent root. Okay, no. Link to. Remove the slash. So you think that goes to home? Here we are. So we remove. It's not that. So we remove the slash. All right. Yeah. Let's ask. Let's ask the old ChatGPT. Okay, let's see if we can actually ask it anything or if it's going to be a jackass again. All right, we're in this file. Why doesn't my link work? It's breaking everything. Are correctly implemented. However, there are a few reasons why your link might not be working. The route you're linking to, /login customers, might not be correctly set up in your router. If they're in the router, do we have to reference them by name instead of path? Wrap issue. The link component needs to be used with a router component. Make sure your header component is rendered inside a component that is wrapped by a browser router. Hey, how about that? That's exactly what it is. That's it right there. So that, I think, is what our problem was. And do we have all of them unwrapped? We do. So now if we go to home, hey, look, and the page didn't refresh. Things can work sometimes. So now if we log in, we now have the access token stored in our auth context. Now, if we click login, let's clear this. We should get the exact same result. And now, if we go to customers, we should actually fetch our customers. Holy crap! It actually works. How about that? Thank you all for helping me fight through some nonsense that was just. That's the difference. That breaks everything. That works. And also using actual link instead of ahrefs. It was all you guys, Niraj. It was all you guys. Um, am I using base 64 for the auth token? I am not currently using base 64 for the auth token. Is there a reason to do that? Because I'm not sending them in the URL, I'm sending them in the header or in the payload for the refresh token. Oh, okay. No, it's a interesting thought. Um, I am by far an expert in how to handle these things in the front end, so I am open to all thoughts, considerations, questions, poking fun at me, whatever. Okay, well, let's commit this before we do anything else. All right, let's see. What do we have here? Yes, we want to add the React router DOM. Oh, man, my headphones are already dying. It's not that I guess I need to listen to too much, but I can't code without music, and there we go. Why don't batteries last longer? Like forever. Okay. Yes, we want to add that. That is the lock file. Yes. So that is our... Yes, that is correct because we don't need that anymore. That's good. You encode... I encode my front end API key from SHA-256 to base64, and the API key that I give my users can be used to get all information from the panel without revealing the API key. Well, it may not reveal it, but base64 is always the same. You can decode a base 64 without any sort of key, so you're somewhat obfuscating that key. But what I'm using are JWTs. So, you have the header, the body, and the signature. Now, these tokens obviously have to be given to the user, and they send those in the header for authorization back to the API. So if that token gets exposed to someone, it's out there. So I don't think there's much of a way, unless you do server-side rendering or server-side rendering so that you can do HTTP only cookies. That's basically the only way that you're going to be able to 100%. Well, even then, you're most likely to be able to avoid exposing the user to risks. The only real way is to destroy the computer, never plug it in, and jump to the bottom of the ocean. That's the only way you're ever going to be really secure. But for actual flexibility of having a nice front end that accesses the back end API for dynamic content, I'm trying to find a reasonable amount of security and a reasonable amount of usability. So, yes. Oh, wait, no. Where did we have that window? We don't need to add that to the window anymore. useAuth. We don't need to log the console token anymore. Our auth context is fine. Our health check we don't need to show right now. So it's in. our use login here. We don't need that. Yeah, sure, that's fine for now, fine for now, fine for now, fine for now. Yeah, I think we're good for now. Okay. Git commit. React router DOM working with links to keep off context. Okay. Happy days, happy days. So now, let's make our useAuth do something a little bit more. So now we check that we are authenticated. Okay. But now if we refresh the page, we lose our auth token, but if we come back over to our, we have our refresh token here. We refresh the page. We're not logged in because our auth token's gone. So, let's close some window or some tabs. Okay. Now, we don't need our header, we don't need our app, we don't need our index. Our auth provider is giving us, actually let's also add const user set user. We'll come back and deal with that after login. Customers we don't need to see. So in our require auth, we have the is authenticated. So that deals with that. So what I'm thinking of right now is where do we want to go and trigger the exchange of the refresh token for an auth token and a new refresh token. We don't need that in login, not at the moment, but it's most likely that it's part of the require auth. So I think what we're going to do is actually, if we're not authenticated, then we want to, let's say, see if we have a refresh token. If we do, we try to exchange it for a new access token. In auth, so you mean as in the useAuth, right? The useAuth hook. Naresh? Yep. Okay, then if we get a new access token, then we're good to go. If we don't get an access token, then redirect to login. Yes. Okay. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking here. So, yeah, exactly. So, oh, you actually mean I could just do that deep in the is authenticated so that my require auth doesn't need to know anything about it. So anytime you check if you're authenticated, that actually makes a lot of sense, I think. So if we, so instead, so here, if access token, just return true. Now, here we can, using a use effect. Okay. All right. So let's see. I know I have a use effect. I just need to look at the use effect for reference. Use effect. Why would I be using a use effect here? Because I don't think we would know what is changing at this point. Nope, not here. Here. Wait, why do I have two of these open? Are they different? Oh, it's because the... Yeah. Okay, let's close this one. Use effect runs whenever you refresh your page. Okay, I see. So that would trigger it so that could trigger it as soon as we land in the application, which would give us anything. So if we said, for instance, show certain links, but not show those to not logged in users, this would set us as authenticated before, as opposed to when you're trying to navigate. I get you. That makes sense. And that would be inside of the provider auth, which is incorporated by the require auth. So it should, let's actually just do this. Console, actually, we could do a use effect. Actually, what did that look like again? Use effect. No, use effect. Definitely need to figure out whether I want arrow functions or function names and which one makes the most sense. Need to pass it a dependency array, right? So an empty dependency array, right? That's what you're saying? Because we're not going to do this. The one time that we would do this is if we had a method that was checking our access token for expiration and removed it from state if that time occurred. And then that would go ahead and trigger this to rerun, I think. So if we save that, come over. Oh, we did something incorrect. Nope. Oh, because it's inside. It's this and this. Nope, that's not right. Yeah, there we go. What? Use effect is not defined because we have to import it. Use effect. Use effect. Use auth provider. We did not log our useAuth provider. Yeah, if you want to share your code, Niraj, that'd be great. Or if you want to send like a gist or something like that, from GitHub, I can then share it on screen for everyone, not just in the chat message, but totally up to you. So our use effect does not seem to be triggered within our use provider auth. Customers login. Oh, wait, there it went. Was that when I went to login? No, it's when I went to customers. So it was only. It's actually in a private repo. Sure, no worries. So our use provider auth is being triggered in the use effect, but only once we've tried to access a root. We could potentially add that from the auth provider, but I don't know if that really makes sense or not. No. Regardless, we can work on the rest of this until we figure out exactly how to deal with that. So we get our access token. We're checking that is authenticated. We have an access token, we return it. If we if our refresh token is, if no refresh token, then return false. So this would be the case that our access token doesn't exist and we don't have a refresh token. So now here we could say refreshing token. Right, so now if we come over here, we refresh this page, we should see is authenticated refreshing token at some point in here. No, that is only happening when we try to go to the root. So sort that out afterwards. But is authenticated, if not refresh token. But if we go back to our application, we have a refresh token. But we haven't actually gotten the refresh token from storage yet. Let's see, we only want to include front end. Oh, no worries. Thanks anyway for looking. I appreciate it. It's fine. We'll get there. We'll get there. So let's look at. Actually, let's look for local storage. Is that not? Did I misspell it? Inner login. We're calling use login, and use login. We are local storage. Oh. Come on now. Front end. That's the wrong box. Local storage. So we're setting refresh. Okay, so we have use refresh token already. And that is getting the refresh token and setting it. But we haven't actually stored our refresh token in state, or restored it into state, or into the context state. So if we actually go back and look at hello, it's actually in the require auth, but I want to look in the auth provider within here. Oop. Back over here. Ah, thanks. There we go. Nice. Get new access token. Let's actually just grab this and stick it in here. So a use authentication, and then yeah, a use effect. Okay, cool. We'll come back and look at that after we sort out this. So the use authentication, which is our useAuth provider. I think those are the same type of thing. What I'm currently in need of is that we have these null values. Our values equal those. Before we do that, at this point, refresh token and access token should always be null, but we could do a set refresh token, local storage refresh token. All right, I think that's all we need to do there. So this should now say refreshing token in our application. No, what did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? React limits the number of renders. So that's probably trying to... So what if we set this as the default instead? So now, if we go to customers, we should see refreshing token at the bottom there. Hey, how about that? Okay. Okay. All right. Woo! All right, that is what I wanted to see. Okay, so now from here, we can actually call our API service, which already has a refresh token exchange. And that is the actual function that we pass the refresh token to, which we have because we got it from our context. So we do want to import refresh token exchange from our service, API service. Then we want to refresh token. Then if access token, then we can just return return access token not equal to null. All right. And let's get rid of that. So now, if we refresh, we try to go to customers, we should see that it's refreshing the token, and we should see our customers. I think. Hey, Maok. Welcome to a backend / DevOps developer tries to do React and looks like a fool. Welcome. Bollocks. Post refresh token 401. API user token refresh. So we did actually hit the thing we wanted to hit, but we got a 401 unauthorized. Why did we get a 401 unauthorized? Our refresh token is hitting our user token refresh. User token refresh. There should be no auth. Mao. Okay, Mao. Are you a engineer yourself? Are you, and if so, front end, back end, anything else? Let's see. So we're sending that with our body to refresh. Now, if we go and check Postman, our authorization is no authorization. User token refresh. And there is no trailing slash. So I've got some problems with the trailing slash being either required or not required in a different type of application. I think it's a Django Python application that does that, but I'm not 100% sure on which way it needs to be. I think it needs the trailing slash based on the implementation anyway. No, this token refresh. And we just send a refresh underscore token. And we are sending a refresh underscore token as refresh token. Stringified. Okay, let's see. What do we get over here? Invalid refresh token. Okay. It shouldn't have expired because it's only a few minutes old, right? Did we set the wrong token on login? On login, set the access token, set the refresh token, set the refresh token as a refresh token. That looks correct to me. You're tending mobile development, but you're wondering about other spaces. Yes, I was an iOS developer for a while back in 2012, 2013, 2014, something like that. And then I had a startup for a while and did all the things, but we had both native iOS and native Android. I did nothing on the Android and I did some work on the iOS app. Do you do both? More iOS, more Android, or something like, what is it, React Native, or one of the other types of, what are those called? Multi-platform development environments, I think. Or, I can't remember the proper term. It's been so long. Let's see. Let's try to log in again and see if we get a new token. Okay, we have a new token and a new refresh token. Let's grab that refresh token while we're here. And now, if we go to customers, we should get our customers. Now we refresh the screen. It takes us back to login. We hit the customers and we get a refresh token error. Invalid refresh token. Ends in 5Q. We are sending that. So if I come over here and try to send this, what do we get? Invalid refresh token. Why is that invalid? Why is it invalid? You're developing with React Native, okay. I think Flutter. Yeah, that could be definitely one of the. It had the word native in it. What was the name of that thing? There was a React Native, and then there was a. iOS and Android like React Native, but different. It was like a fully open source thing. It was oh gosh, what was the name of that? It was like but fully open source. It was not based on how about native? React Native alternatives. That would have been a lot easier to search for, wouldn't it? It wasn't Flutter. It definitely wasn't Flutter. I swear it had a name like native in it. It wasn't Xmarian, if that's how you actually pronounce that. Native Script. That was it. Native Script. Yeah. And Iconic. I remember that one too. And Cordova. Yeah. Oh boy, this is taking me back. jQuery Mobile. I say that, but I still like jQuery a little bit. Oh, I lost the correct window here. Okay, so back to why our refresh token's not working. So let's log in. Actually, I think it's possible that we're trying to refresh before. No, because that should only be hitting the other. Okay, let's. Okay, before I hit enter, let's clear this. And we log in, login service, and we fetched. That's our access token. I'm not seeing anything about refreshing. So if I just immediately take this over to here, let's clear this and go back to Postman. Paste our refresh token here. I would assume we get back the refresh token. We did. What the frick? So our refresh token now should, in the application, if we refresh, it should still send this V8W, which should no longer work. So if we hit customers, right, we got a 401, but that should be different. Invalid refresh token. All right, let's update our backend code. That's the wrong one. Let's update our backend code. Figure out and do some more logging. So we need more logging on the back end. Okay. So out of the front end. Cheers, Mal. Thanks. I hope to see you again sometime if you're stepping out, but we were happy to have you while you were here. Okay. Backend code, we are changing. It's going to be our model, our JWT model. We're going to, actually, we might need to check our route. Oh, I bet I know what it might be. Nope, our user token refresh is an unprotected route. So in the user route, we are looking for token refresh. Let's just get a little bit more information here. Or actually, let's do some more logging. The refresh token. The payload from verify refresh token. Verify and deny refresh token. Invalid token type for refresh. We didn't get that. Invalid refresh token. So that's because the result length. Select star from refresh token table name, where token is that, and the deny is false. Okay, so let us do deny command. Okay. Select those from refresh tokens. And that's local. Okay. And where deny list is false. Okay. So that where token equals the token passed in. Okay. Let's clear our browser here. Go back and do a refresh of the page. Come here. That should still say no, thank you. So now, actually, no, we know we're sending the right one because it's logged out. Let's just come back and check here. Clear there. So now if we log in properly, clear that, log in. Okay, we sent our token. User logged creating chip. Okay, so our token exists. So let's grab this token. We say where deny is false and token, nope, token equals that. We get one. So our token exists. Our token is there. All right. Oh, turn local mode back on. Clear that. Okay. Clear. Okay. So our backend's running. Hello, what broke? All right. We have more node running. I don't know that that's actually any of those, but it was worker D. Okay, I think we're all right. npx wrangler dev. We're not running the remote version. We're running the local version. Okay, clear the screen. Okay. Our server is running. We have a refresh token. The refresh token is valid. It's right there. Deny list is false, and the token equals what we said. Where token and deny list is that case sensitive? No, and deny list is lowercase. Actually, is it just fully, is the case just for humans? Okay, good to know that it's completely case insensitive. So our token exists. So now if we come back over here, get home, log in, customers. Now if we go home and refresh, come to log in, we don't have a token. But now if we go to customers, we should, oh, okay, let's clear that. excuse me, clear that. Just check our token again. Token's still fine. So now we come to customers. We should attempt to refresh, creating JWT, verifying refresh token. Okay, okay. I know exactly what's happening. I know exactly what's happening. Now, how we resolve it, I do not know. I think this first request is like our favicon or something. We have refreshed it and returned it. Then we're trying to refresh it again immediately afterwards, and it's invalid. Now, it's possible we need to await something, or we need to prevent the favicon from attempting the access. I'm not sure which just yet. So now if we check, the token's gone. But if we say where the denial list is true, it's there, of course. Okay, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Good stuff. So, what we want to know is, just remove all those logs later. What we want to know is, do we need to await the refresh somewhere that we've missed that, or so let's not send this at all right now. Okay, so now if we refresh customers, require auth is authenticated refreshing token. Require auth is authenticated refreshing token. Is authenticated. So I think this needs to be a async, and then await refresh token. Now we still might need to go up a step and await there. Require auth is authenticated. Okay, that's not necessarily incorrect, but I still want to know why we're sending two requests. It could be the... We'll come back to that. Let's just see if this worked. I don't think it did. Okay, we authenticated, that logged us in. Customers, we got customers. Clear the screen, refresh the screen. Go back to home, go to log in. Why is that? Something is funky here. Access token. Okay, so it's down here that something is weird. Access token is now null. Access token not equal to null. Oh. I know one of the things that's going wrong is that, oh no, that's navigate to. So we're, is it the replace? I'm not sure what replace does. Navigate to. React, router, DOM, navigate to replace. What does replace do? The replace option property is a replace navigate as a redirect, replacing the current entry in the history stack versus pushing a new entry like regular navigation. Okay, so I don't think we want to replace it. I think we just want to go to it, but I don't think that has anything to do with the issue we're having. I'm not sure why that's going to loading. So let's do this. Auth. Equal. Okay. So is authenticated false. So why is that showing loading? Shouldn't it? Okay, refresh there. Go to custom. What? So it must be the await. So it's because of the await. We get rid of the await. Home, refresh, customers. No? What the hell? So if we just get rid of that part altogether. If not is authenticated. So if this comes back as false, is off the so we're not getting an is off. Why are we not being redirected? Oh, we're not actually getting here. Okay. Off equals that. If not off. Is authenticated, refreshing token. Access token is null. Is authenticated, false. Require auth is a promise. Require auth is a promise. Oh, wait. this needs to be an async function. But that's not... Ugh. Okay. Just need to sort out the... actually, what we could do is authenticated.then auth. And that might be why we're rendering twice also. So we've gotten to the useAuth. So if we come to customers, login is not showing us. Come on, refresh. Okay, go to login. If we're logged in, we now have an access and a refresh token. We go to customers. It's still not giving us what we want. Do. Okay. This authenticated is returning an async. What if I tried removing async from is authenticated? That's a good idea, Dan. For now, that should work. So if we come back here and just get back to where we were, to that and that. So now we should, if we go to customers, it should redirect us back to login. If we actually log in, we get our token. We go to customers, we get our customers. Great. Now, the problem is that if we're going to, within our is authenticated, attempt to refresh our tokens, those have to, okay, let's do this. If we're going to do the is authenticated here, the require auth has to return before that, right? So, I mean, to await this, we have to be in an async function. Or data, and then that. Is that what we need to do? Because within our refresh token, it is an async that returns, it's actually returning the refresh token to us. And once we've returned, right, refresh exchange token. So the refresh exchange token just fetches it and returns the access and the refresh token. So in here, we would Let's log that, and then access token. And oh no, that's not right. Yeah. That's fine, but it's const refresh underscore token as. No, you can't do that, can you? So it's refresh token const access token equals access token, and hey, that's access underscore token, and then this is refresh token underscore token, and then set access token to access token, set refresh token to refresh token, and local storage set item refresh token. Okay, I think those are what we actually want. Now, whether the dot then is actually, no, it doesn't like something. All right, I don't think I can do it that way. Access token equals just that. Oh, still not liking it. Set access. Oh, because we didn't get it from. Come on, fingers. Hey, set refresh token. Okay, refresh. Okay, log in. Now, if we go to customers and we cross our fingers really hard, maybe it will actually refresh our token. Although it could be expired because it could be in the deny list. Okay, invalid refresh token. So we're actually doing the thing, which is okay. So now we come to login. Okay, we get our token. Now, go to home, go to customers, go to home, go to customers, go to home. Now we refresh the screen. Okay, we have not attempted to refresh our token. Let's go and clear our API console. Now we go to customers. This should attempt to refresh our token. Bloody hell. Why not? Hey, it did do it. It did do it right there. It did it right there, and you didn't store it before the other one attempted to do something with it. What the hell? Home, customer. Why? So it's because we're getting those two requests. Okay, let's see. React. Why you make two requests? Why you make two requests? Did I break DuckDuckGo? Pre-flight request for a security reason. Fetch will first check the web API to see if it's safe to send using option, and when it's fine, it sends. Okay, so it's an option versus a post. to how fetch handles cores. Try using okay. So the front end is sending 2 requests. And I remember reading about this now, that it's a browser thing, not a React thing. So, Hono framework deal with options requests. Let's see, maybe that's just actually middleware that we need to. Wrong one again. So back to our index. Okay, for our middleware API there, we've done the things. For each route, we're adding them. So if it's unprotected, return next. App.use return next. We want to check for options methods. Actually, that's almost right. Check for options methods in our available routes. I think that might be it. Let's leave the so now if we come back to our server here and go back to our website. Okay. Login is good. So now if we I'm going to log in again just to get a fresh pair. Okay. Login's good. Login's fine. Go to customers. We get our Blix. Okay. What? It's because we're trying to oh, I just accepted what it gave me, and that's not it. Let's actually make this the first part. If that, and we don't have the roots yet, so we need to put that after we have roots. And oh, we don't have a root actually. This is going to be c.request Actually, let's do this first. If c dot request dot method equals options, then roots dot find. We don't have root dot path. It's c dot rec dot path. Yeah, I think that's right. Let's do this part first. Console log options check path. Okay. Did we get a... I don't see the options coming through though, right? There is no options there. Well, come on. We're so close to making this work, but I think I'm running out of steam. 3 hours has been quite a bit of time today, but I definitely am coming back tomorrow for probably about the same time. At least the same time of day. Huh. Yeah, I think my brain is just brain's done today. But thank you everyone for coming and for giving me such good advice and ideas on things to look at. I appreciate you all so much. If you're not already a member, please join our Discord, devopsdave.net/discord. I'm looking forward to growing a nice community there of people who are, interested in anything related to software engineering, DevOps, platform engineering, whatever your area of expertise in the field is. Love to have you, and talk to anyone about anything, or try to add any, help you out in any way. I've been in this field for a long time, obviously not as a front-end engineer, because you can see the way that I stumble through so much of this stuff, related to React anyway. So yeah, see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.